What is up, folks? What is going on? Yeah, so I killed that other little event there, and the live streaming should be going on in this other spot. So hopefully we will be ready. Right now it's showing my stream health as orange and not green, so I'm not really liking that. So don't know if the stream is kind of jacked. But basically, we have got a show for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, there is lots of information that is breaking. It is the first day of the Oculus Connect 5 scenario, and so we have all of that going on. Obviously, the biggest single news of the day, of course, is the Oculus Quest. The Oculus Quest is absolutely the biggest story of the day, and we're definitely going to get into that. I'm not so sure about the name, you know, Quest. When I heard the name, I was like, okay. But where were they going to go? Where were they really going to go with the name? Because the best name is Oculus Go. Oculus Go is an amazing name, an incredible name. And they want to keep the Go as its own platform, and they want to have a mid-tier platform, and then they want to have their higher-end platform. And so Oculus has an entire family of products. So we're definitely going to go ahead and get into all of that in the very, very near future. But let's start things off. Let's go ahead. It's early on in the show. Let's go ahead and kick out our trailer, and then we'll get going with the rest of the show right after that. So yeah, this of course is the VR Game Rankings YouTube channel. This is Daily Vlog Live. It is episode 213, Wednesday, September 26, and this is the Oculus Connect day. And the biggest news of all was absolutely Oculus Quest. Let's go ahead and check out some of these trailers. Let's see what it's all about. Let's get hyped.
Cherry down there. Nice grab, nice grab. Nice. Cut up, cut up.
Yeah, there you go. Whoa.
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 Forward, down, forward, wide.
Whoa. Whoa.
Okay, I'm back, everybody. Sit together, all right?
Whoa! Whoa!
Wow.
So that is the Oculus Quest with their basic whoa commercial is kind of what it's all about here. And this is kind of exciting. We're talking about the beginning of a new era in virtual reality, the beginning of the standalone era, and a legit standalone that is really going to take things to the next level. That's what the Oculus Quest looks like. Pretty incredible. No wires. All of those beautiful things. There is another trailer that they had as well. Let's go ahead and throw on Oculus Quest Under the Hood. Let's check this one out, and then we'll get back to all the questions about the Oculus Quest.
It's just you and your hands, completely free and immersed. With 6 degrees of freedom, state-of-the-art optics, and built-in audio. You can forget about wires, PCs, and phones. Oculus Quest is ready to play when you are. The headset relies on 4 ultra-wide angle sensors to map your environment as you navigate through it. And with Oculus Insight tracking, every move you make in the real world translates right into the game you're playing. Combine that with Oculus Touch controllers, and the game is at your fingertips. So when you grab, sing, or cast a spell, you'll feel the power of every gesture. The next level of VR gaming is finally here. Introducing Oculus Quest. Oculus Quest
There
is
it
an
is,
all-in-one
folks.
VR
Oculus Quest. So basically, let's go ahead and let's bounce over to chat real quick and see what people are saying. Fuzzy Dragon says, damn, I had to hunt through your channel just to find this live stream. Yeah, I had to cancel the other one. Hopefully people will find this pretty quickly. But yeah, Will Flourish, good afternoon. I'm excited about the Oculus Quest. I'm looking forward to taking it with me when I visit friends. Hussein X says 64 gig version, $399. No other options that we know of right now at this time. The Jordan Complex says, I was first in the other chat, tabbed out, didn't realize there was a new stream. My bad, guys. I should have hopped over there and told people that, yeah, I was going to close that out. My bad for that. Basically, let's get into it. I mean, we found some information out about the Oculus Quest. And one of the key information bits that we do have is that the Oculus Quest is starting at $399. Now, that kind of clues us in. We know that the initial, well, the $399 version is a 64 gig version. Now, there could definitely be other versions, and considering they said starting, there probably is going to be other versions, possibly with a different kind of a head strap, maybe double the amount of storage. Will there be any kind of expandable storage? Oculus has been mum on the entire expandable storage thing for both the Oculus Go and now Oculus Quest as well. Now, the launch for the Oculus Quest, unfortunately, we don't have a concrete launch date. We don't have a launch month. What we do have is spring of 2019. And I looked it up. When is spring of 2019? What period does it span? And spring 2019 begins technically on Wednesday, March 20th, and it runs all the way until June 21st. So that is the entire breadth of spring. So you have really late March, you got all of April and May, and you got early June technically being spring. Obviously, we're hoping we get this maybe late March, April, May. June is kind of pushing it, but that technically is spring 2019. Some other things that we know about the Oculus Go is arena scale tracking, and we're going to get into that in just a minute. Arena scale tracking and multi-room guardian. It remembers. It remembers. Do you know what movie that's from? And Vader Immortal, Episode 1, a brand new game that will be coming to the Oculus Quest on launch day and will be exclusively available for the Oculus Quest for a limited amount of time. And since I'm talking about Vader Immortal, why don't we go ahead and check that trailer out? It gives us just a very brief, quick second of some actual, if I can speak here, some actual Oculus Quest gameplay footage and the GPU that is under the hood there. So let's check this out.
Captain, I need you in the cockpit now. That's impossible. Something's pulled us out of hyperspace.
You may wonder why I have brought you here.
So that is Vader Immortal, and it is going to be launching hopefully day and date with the Oculus Quest. Hopefully we're talking late March, maybe April. I can tell you, man, watching all this stuff, seeing the Oculus Quest, I actually had an opportunity to go down to Oculus Connect 5 this year, And I didn't take that opportunity, mainly because I didn't want to spend the $300 and I didn't want to drive all the way to San Jose, go to Oculus Connect 5, and then drive all the way back. It's a hell of a drive. And I decided to pass on it. But man, I'm seriously jelly, because look at that. People are there. People are there, and they are trying Oculus Quest systems right now. They're getting a feel for the 6 DOF. That's the other thing, 6 DOF. So I guess 6 DOF is a thing. 6 degrees of freedom, 6 DOF, but we're going to say 6 DOF. So they're getting a sample of 6 DOF on the headset, on the controllers, actual Oculus Touch controllers, just with the rings going in the other direction, basically. So let me go ahead and check over here in chat. I Am Rhett says, so they're sticking with the crappy limited space model, no SD card, count me out. Isn't that a little bit like technical, I Am Rhett, though? I mean, just over that reason, it's an irritant. It's an irritant. It's kind of like a Sony Vita kind of thing, really, when you think about it, that whole storage game. Sin Raikai says, I'm so excited to get my hands on Oculus Quest. Fuzzy Dragon, I'm downloading Vox Machinae. Yes, does everybody know Vox Machinae is currently available right now? It is a stealth release for Vox Machinae. And when you heard about it at Oculus Connect 5, you thought, oh, this is an Oculus exclusive. Vox Machinae is an Oculus exclusive, but no. Vox Machinae is available on Steam, so you can grab that from Steam if you want to do that. Terry Blanchard says Quest is currently on my Quest list. And Jim Hall says, look, this is basically a Go with 6 degrees of freedom controllers. But look at that Darth Vader right there. That Darth Vader, that polygonal model, I am assuming that that is running in-game engine on the Oculus Quest. And what we don't know is we don't know a lot of the technical specifications of the Oculus Quest. We have some minor technical specifications, but we don't have the full list of specifications. Basically, the optics are almost exactly the same as the Oculus Go with a slightly higher resolution. So we're talking about the same field of view. So not much of a difference there. We do have this arena scale tracking mode. And the arena scale tracking mode, let me go ahead and show you guys a real quick clip of some pictures of this, because this is one of the more interesting things I think that this features altogether. Okay, this is Dead and Buried Arena Scale. Okay, so this is from the Oculus blog, their innovation zone, Dead and Buried Arena. They talked about this on the show during Oculus Connect 5, 4,000 square foot setup where they could put all these people into a game at the same time. That kind of gives you an idea, real life and then the game world, and then somebody from the outside can simply hold up a tablet, move it all around, and they see exactly what is happening in the video game world. They can move it down and see what regular people are doing. So this is Dead and Buried Arena. So one of the cool things about Oculus Quest is this is going to be an exciting product for everybody in the VR arcade market, because if these things can communicate with each other in the same local area, and developers can design multiplayer style games where everybody is in a confined environment and they communicate with each other, like that is super huge for the arcade market as well. So let's not forget about the arena scale tracking feature, which is a whole nother part of the ball game here. But I mean, going back, let's see, Oculus Quest under the hood. I'll go ahead and put that video back on here. But yeah, I mean, it's a good looking headset. It has the 2 sensors on the top, 2 sensors on the bottom. So it gives you a really good tracking area. Within Oculus Connect 5, they showed during the broadcast of it just how much of the area that it tracks. And it pretty much tracks everywhere except for just this small little area right behind you. And some people might say, well, man, what does that do for like bow and arrows? Are we still going to have a problem with bows and arrows? but I believe it has enough of a range. It can do some predictive tracking on where your arms are moving. So I don't think we're going to have the blind spot that a lot of people are talking about from the standpoint of some of the Windows mixed reality headsets and some of the blind spots that suffers with in certain bow and arrow games. So looks good, looks pretty freaking awesome. I am super excited for this. I am hyped for this. I watched this on Facebook. So I watched the stream on Facebook, and the thing about that stream was so many people in the chat were so incredibly negative, a lot of people, and they were talking about Pimax, where's CV2, where's CV2? A lot of people really disappointed that we really did get no information about CV2. So that was a lot of people disappointed with that. Let me see what people are talking about over here in chat. Chris says, Oculus Quest is going to be amazing for arcades. Gerard O'Hara says, we can all go to a park and play. You're going to need a flat surface, I think, though. You got to be careful with parks. I've been in some parks where there are hills, there are bumps, there are rocks, there's roots that are growing in the ground. You got to be careful about that. I Am a Dreamer says, I wonder how long a charge will last you on Oculus Quest. Did they say anything about that? No. Quest launch date is 6 to 7 months too far ahead. They should have taken orders for Christmas. Bullet Ape says, it's all good. I'm just picking me up Vox Machinae. That was totally unexpected. I'm grabbing that. Paul Smith says, that's awesome. I hope you can scale the play space so you can play games like that in the garden, etc. Quest price was several $100s cheaper than what I expected, but at that price point, it will kill the Go unless they drop it to $99. Well, Fuzzy Dragon, here's the thing. Paradise Decay checking in. What is going on? Main Fan checking in too. A bad Oculus Connect 5 for me. You know, I think a lot of people are focused on CV2, but let's remember here. Let's remember, Oculus Quest is their product for 2019. Honestly, if we really get down to the brass tacks, Oculus Quest matters more to Facebook than the Oculus Rift. The future of the Oculus Quest is significantly more important to Facebook's bottom line than the Oculus Rift. I hate to break it to you, but here's the thing. Oculus, the Rift, you got to use a PC. You got to use a Windows operating system. They're going through all these other companies to get access to you. They need you to buy a PC. You got to keep upgrading your PC. They get none of that money when you upgrade your PC. You're using this operating system. You're using all these things that are separate from them. They want a product that they can sell directly to the consumer that is a closed system. It locks it all down. In this commercial, you see no PCs, no wires, no mobile phones. It's just pop a headset on. You got 2 controllers. Bam, you're in the game. One of the things they talked about a tennis game that is basically like a straight up tennis game where you can play like full court tennis. How freaking amazing is that? I've told you guys about this. I believe tennis is a game that we can simulate damn near perfectly if we did have a wireless headset and wireless controllers and we could just move around freely. Now, another question I have, though, they show you playing Creed, they show you playing tennis and all of this stuff like that. But the question is, how sweat resistant is this thing going to be? Are they considering sweat? Because when they allow you, when they cut that cord, they give you more freedom. You get to move around a lot more, but you're also going to be generating a lot more sweat. So are you going to be able to do a real deal tennis game and not ruin your entire headset? There's so many questions. So many questions are floating out there. Let me ask you some of the most significant questions that we have. But, one other thing I forgot to mention. A lot of Oculus Rift games are being ported over to the Oculus Quest. We don't know how well these ports are going to survive, but Robo Recall is going to make the transfer over. Moss is coming over. Moss should look pretty damn good. The Climb is coming over. Dead and Buried, super hot. All of those games are guaranteed to be running on the Quest. We already know that Vader Immortal is running on the Quest. And let me go back and put the Vader Immortal trailer on, just because this is the only thing that we've seen that is probably giving us a slight glimpse at what the processing power is of the Oculus Go. What I should have did, though, is I should have taken this trailer and cut everything out except for the very tiny brief seconds of gameplay footage that are put in here. Like, what is actual gameplay footage? This might not even be gameplay footage. This could just be kind of a cinema. This could be a cinema. But I think when they actually show, like, that is real. That's real right there. I think that's Oculus Quest gameplay right there. And then when we see Vader, like this polygonal, you see the other guy back there, you see that ball floating around. Now, we're not seeing everything that's going on all around here, but honestly, I feel like I can get lost in these kinds of graphics, because I'll tell you what, folks, on my Oculus Go, I play that game Drop Dead. It is an incredibly cartoony game, Drop Dead, but after you're in it for about 10 minutes, you forget about that. And I feel like I'm in an Oculus Rift game, and I'm playing like an Oculus Rift game with very simple graphics when I'm playing Drop Dead on the Go. Well, we know that the Oculus Quest is going to be significantly more advanced than the Go. King Hell says release date, price. Price is $399.99 for the 64 gig version. Maybe $499 for like a 256 gig version or something like that, or 512 gigs. Who knows? There could be other options. When is the release date? It is spring. So you're talking about as early as late March, maybe April, maybe May. That is probably when we're looking at the Oculus Quest. Now, here's the thing, though. I had a number of big questions about this. Like, what are the biggest questions I have? And the single biggest question I have, number one, expandable memory. Is this thing going to have expandable memory, or are we going to play the Vita game? Because we're kind of playing the Vita game with the Oculus Go. The Oculus Go, we got a 32 gig bare bones version. That's the one I got. You got the 64 gig where you're doubling up, but you're not doubling up that much. And so it's almost kind of like the Vita game. So we got to wonder about the expandable memory. Question number two, are we talking about a Snapdragon 435? How can they possibly squeeze a Snapdragon 435 into the Oculus Quest and price it at $399? It does not, that doesn't work, that doesn't compute, that doesn't work. How is this possible? Now, it's possible because Facebook, you want to talk about a company that has money to burn. Facebook has money to burn like almost no other company on planet Earth. So if they wanted to subsidize the Oculus Quest to a heavy degree, just at the very beginning, just to get it up and running, that's something they can do. That's something that Facebook is capable of. I said I wanted this Santa Cruz, which is what we were calling it. I wanted Santa Cruz to be $599, but I wanted it to have the Snapdragon 435. I wanted it to be pretty solid. It's hard for me to imagine that this has the 435. It's $200 cheaper, $399. $399 is a much more mass market price. Now, somebody in chat a little bit earlier, yeah, the 845. I'm talking about the 845. I'm sorry, not the 835. But does it have the, wait, now I'm all, okay, yeah, the 835. I'm all confused, I'm sorry, with the Snapdragons. But what I'm saying is, how is it going to have an 845 if it's $399? That doesn't really make a ton of sense. So I don't know. Are they subsidizing it? That's a big question there, but I believe Facebook does have the ability to subsidize. They have that capability. Number three, is there any AR capabilities? Is there any kind of pass-through video? I was really hoping for some AR, some pass-through video. When Michael Abrosh got on there and he was talking about AR and VR in the future and all of that, he talked about how it's just going to it's just going to combine. It's just going to merge into itself. AR is going to merge into VR. VR is going to merge into AR. And I was hoping we might get a tiny little taste of that in the Santa Cruz, because I knew it was going to have all these cameras for the tracking, but it would need to have 2 additional stereoscopic cameras for AR and pass-through capabilities, and I don't think that it has that. So that's kind of unfortunate. We didn't hear any information about cross-buy for the Oculus Quest, because, you know, you're buying Robo Recall, you're buying the Climb, you're buying the Moss, Dead and Buried, Super Hot. Do you have to buy each individual version of each individual game? We kind of wanted to have some kind of a cross-buy thing. And then maybe one of my biggest, well, this question has kind of been answered. One of the questions I asked, can you have 2 Oculus Quest units in the same physical space, and do they recognize each other in the same physical space? Can you play local co-op? Can me and a guy be standing right here and we're in the same game, and I kind of see where his head and hands are, he sees where my head and hands are, maybe we have some inverse kinematics in our body. Can we both be in the same game, in the same place, in the same physical area? And that question has basically been answered because of that Dead and Buried arena tracking capability. So it has that ability as well. Okay, let me throw on a different trailer, because we've been running these same trailers for a long time here. I'm going to go ahead and throw on the Vox Machinae trailer, which this is a bit of a shocker. Vox Machinae is out there. And real quick, let me check the price of Vox Machinae. I don't even know what the price is. Let's see here. I mean, talk about, you know, coming out of the blue, coming out of nowhere, Vox Machinae. We knew it was coming in early fall. We had heard it was coming in early fall. We thought it was October. Just when you thought the month of September couldn't possibly get more powerful. $25. Vox Machinae is 25 bones. I'm taking a look at it on Steam here.
Grab hold of the controls and stomp
7 user reviews already.
or against bots.
25 bucks, and I'm guessing Oculus it's 25 as well. Let's see.
Pilot. Customizable loadouts, incredible physics, and satisfying destruction. Vox Machinae from Space Bullet on monitors and virtual reality early this fall. Wishlist today.
Yeah, it's out now, folks. It is out now. What we didn't know is September 26th. That is the release of Vox Machinae. And you know what? I'm doing a search for it on Oculus and nothing's coming up. The Steam version is coming up. That's weird, because when they announced this game, I thought, oh, this is an Oculus exclusive. This is going to piss people the hell off. But apparently it's available on Steam right now, and I'm not seeing it on Oculus, but I'm sure it has to be on Oculus. It's just not popping up. But anyway, let's go ahead and see what people are talking about over here. We're talking about a hip mount battery pack is likely. That's Gopher Chucks. Yeah, we don't know about the battery situation. Fuzzy Dragon says FOV looked bigger than Rift. I believe it has the exact same FOV. See, Aaron Acosta says it uses the same lenses as Go, so maybe the same field of view. I did see that the field of view was about 95 degrees, I believe, on the field of view. Phil Yarn says this or Creed. I don't know. I haven't tried Vox Machinae. I haven't even tried the demo of it, which there's been a demo available for this for a long time. Creed is very good. I talked about Creed for a long time yesterday. Creed is very much an exercise game. Andy Sky says 110 degrees is good enough as long as much sharper and much less screen door. I believe it's less than 110. That's one of the downers of the Oculus Quest. I'm pretty sure we're talking about a 95 degree field of view, and it's going to have pretty much the same optics as the Oculus Go, which is very good optics. The resolution is going to have a very tiny bump, really tiny bump in the resolution. Really, the big hope is the processor that is running the show. Is it an 845? That is the big question. Phil Yarn, Chris Gould says, I've only played for half an hour, but it was a blast. Are you talking about Vox Machinae, Chris Gould? You've already got a half an hour in of Vox Machinae. You were quick on that. Charles Van Nolan, you were the guy I was thinking of yesterday about cancers. Remember about the Verizon 5G? So here's what Charles is saying. Man, I wish I hadn't bought Hellfire Archangel with this Vox game out. You can't even play bots in Hellfire. Yeah, the single player version of Archangel is pretty good. The multiplayer version is pretty good, but this is more of what people were really asking for, so we'll have to see if it delivers. Is it Chrome Hounds in VR? Yeah, Charles Van Nolan says, yeah, don't get cancers from Wi-Fi on your face. Yeah, and you know, speaking of the Oculus Quest, we're talking wireless, right? So all cancers that you want. Fuzzy Dragon says, Creed and Vox both have impeccable production values. Dude, Fuzzy Dragon, just think about the month of freaking September. I honestly believe now that Vox Machinae has sneaked out in the last couple of days of September, has there been a better VR month than September 2018 in terms of a full breadth of titles? Because we're talking about, man, how many games have come out this month? You got stuff like Transference, you've got Blind, you've got Chiaro and the Elixir of Life, you've got Creed, you've got a bunch of games came to PlayStation VR as well, like Downward Spiral Aura Station. September has been one of the most powerful months I've seen in recent time. So many games, it is so difficult. Oh, Jet Island. I mean, there's so many other little games that came. Windlands 2, the biggest game of the month probably. And I forgot about this. This month is murder. This month is straight up murder. You would think Space Bullet, like, dude, I know you had this time for Oculus Connect 5, but man, this month is murder. See, personally, if I was a regular civilian out there, and I had to buy all these games like a normal regular gamer would buy games, I would already be tapped out. My money for the month of September would already be gone. It would have been gone towards Windlands 2. It would have been gone towards Transference, maybe one other game if I'm lucky, and my budget would have been expired. And the next game that I would probably be waiting for would be Astrobot on October 2nd. So anyway, folks, you know what? We do have some other minor little story to get to that is not Oculus Connect related. Let's go ahead and talk about this for just a quick second, because there might be something huge that is out there that we don't know about. This is just pure rumor mongering, but let's check this out. So Jeremy Horowitz, this guy is a writer for VentureBeat, and he tweeted this out today at 5:04 a.m. What is bro doing up at 5:04 a.m. in the first damn place? But here's what he tweeted out. VR is about 1 week away from having its Super Mario 64 moment. I can't get into details, but I don't say that lightly. If you are even remotely interested in VR, the rules are about to be redefined and jaws are going to drop. Jaws are going to drop. So these are some really big time claims by Jeremy Horowitz of VentureBeat. Once again, VR is about 1 week away from having its Super Mario 64 moment. I can't get into details, but I don't say that lightly. If you're even remotely interested in VR, the rules are about to be redefined and jaws are going to drop. What is he talking about here, folks? Is he talking about one of the 3 Valve games that we don't know about? Is he talking about maybe that Respawn game that we didn't get to see today? You know, what about the stuff that we didn't get to see today? We don't have a release date for Defector. What's up with that? I'm hoping that's something they're saving for tomorrow, so there's a little bit of news tomorrow. Tomorrow we get the release date for Defector. I don't know. We do have Lone Echo 2. Really? Lone Echo 2? I thought this was just a little minor expansion pack. Apparently they're talking about Lone Echo 2. No, this is not OC5 news. He's saying this at 5:04 a.m. today, and he's talking about something we're going to find out about next week. Now, some people are speculating that he's talking about Astrobot, because Astrobot is like Super Mario, and Astrobot comes out next week. But I don't know. I think he's talking about like some kind of major hardware thing, you know? Yeah, because it's about, the rules are about to be redefined. Like, how do you redefine the rules with software? So I'm thinking this, I mean, who knows? There could be a headset, a new VR headset that could come out of nowhere and it could shock the world. That would be super cool. So, I mean, this is Oculus Connect Day, and here we got a major rumor. Is this a Vive plant? You know, is HTC trying to take a little thunder away from the Oculus Quest? I don't know. You tell me, but that is kind of interesting. So anyway, let's go ahead. Speaking of trailers, we do have a few other trailers. First of all, we might as well check out this Defector trailer. I know we're not getting it. Well, I don't know when we're getting it, but let's go ahead and check this out.
You've always been a gambler, ready to make a wager.
Break through the doors.
Or roll the dice. You've always known when to stand and when to hit, when to raise and when to bluff.
Your will is strong, but I will break you soon enough.
You know when you have a good hand and you're not afraid to go all in.
Man, I thought for sure that when I saw the end of that trailer, it was going to say November, blah, blah, blah. But we did not see that. Or maybe even December, blah, blah, blah. Could Defector possibly get delayed into the year 2019? That would kind of suck, because we thought this is like probably the biggest game, I think. Pretty much this is the biggest game out there for the rest of this year that we know about right now, I would say. And could this be a 2019 game? That would kind of be lame, but oh well. Maybe we'll get an announcement tomorrow about Defector. So that was the trailer for Defector. And then, now of course, here is a major announcement. We're talking about Lone Echo 2. Let's go ahead and check this out. Really, Lone Echo 2? This is really a full-fledged sequel?
Jack, can you hear me? How did we end up here?
You are the only person who calls me Jack.
Was that your way of saying you're going to miss me?
Anomaly detected.
I'm gonna get you patched up. I promise. Not to jinx it, but I think we're actually making progress here. Oh, damn it! I don't know if I can do this, Jack. Your systems are failing. I barely managed to keep your core memory alive.
Are you injured?
What the hell is this? Jack, please.
Morning, sunshine.
Jack! Oh, thank God.
Captain Rhodes, report to observation.
Don't say a word. They can't know you're online. I promise I'll explain everything when I get back. I'm going to need your help.
There's also a 360 version of the trailer that you can check out. So if you go to the Oculus blog, they're calling it Lone Echo 2. Like on the Oculus blog, it actually says Lone Echo 2. So I always thought that this was kind of like a DLC. It was kind of like an additional story, like a bonus thing, like an expansion pack almost. I didn't think that this was like a full-fledged sequel to the original Lone Echo. And I'm not sure it is a full-fledged sequel to the original Lone Echo, but if you go to the Oculus blog, they're actually calling this Lone Echo 2. And so this is probably 2019, right? Did we get any kind of date at the end of this? I don't know if I saw that. Okay, so let's see what folks are talking about in chat. Main Fan says it's a boring trailer, Lone Echo 2. Chris Gould says, looks like Lone Echo 1, but not a bad thing, I suppose, but a new environment would have been nice. Well, they're going to use all the same assets they already had. That's why I still think this is more of an expansion, really, than a Lone Echo 2, but, you know, I'm sure the storyline will be good. And the best part of Lone Echo, period, in general, was the interpersonal contact back and forth between you and Olivia. It really made you feel like she was there. She was part of the environment. You were right there. You were having this conversation with like a real human being, which is super interesting because Michael Abrash, much later in Oculus Connect 5, talks about like virtual characters, and when we're going to get to that, and that's like Olivia on a whole other level. Could you imagine if you were playing a Lone Echo game with Olivia and having like a legitimate conversation, like Olivia was like a really high-end AI that could have a legitimate conversation with you? That's kind of like what Michael Abrash is talking about from the future as far as that goes. So that does look pretty cool. Lone Echo 2, I don't know how much of a 2 it really is, but it does look pretty cool. Let's see. We still got a million other trailers to get through here. Not that we need to cover all these trailers, but we can check them out real quick. One of the things we can check out is, well, let's check this out. I don't know if we checked this out already. I have some just general pictures of Oculus Connect 5, just some basic pictures to talk about here. This is the venue where it happened at. Of course, there is Zuckerberg right there, Oculus Quest Spring 2019, $399. We have a number of various pictures, close-up, better shots of the Oculus Quest. You can see it kind of has that cloth going around it, but it has the plastic for the outer areas. Looks pretty nice. I mean, very similar to the Go in a lot of ways. I personally believe that one of the enhanced options, I think there's going to be different versions of the Quest, and I think there's going to be more higher end versions of the Quest that'll have a much better head strap, a more rigid, more comfortable head strap. Here's Michael Abrash wearing the same shirt and the same pants. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know about that. But he's talking about all the technological stuff. And I can tell you, I was trying to watch this on the Facebook stream, and the Facebook stream kept having some serious problems. I was not able to watch it. It was a really bad situation. Oh, here's a real funny quote here. Ekin Hawk says, Olivia would have a #MeToo complaint if she had better AI. And absolutely, I got to absolutely agree with you there, because Olivia is floating right there and you accidentally hit certain parts of her. And sometimes she will look at you with a look on her face where you're almost like, oh man, sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. I really didn't mean to do that. That was an accident. Trust me, it was an accident. My hand did not mean to smack your booty like that. Absolutely no. But we're seeing the controllers here for Oculus Quest, and they're basically Rift controllers with the ring flipped around. There's the head strap. Like I said, I do believe there will be a higher end version of the head strap, and that is our boy Michael Abrash. And you know what? I'm actually thinking about at a later point in time, I don't know when I'll be able to get to this, but when I have the whole entire video for Michael Abrash and I'm able to like sit down and watch it and take my time with it, what I might do with that video is cut up some key little bits of talk that he had, and then do a special live stream about the future of VR, and we can play some of these Michael Abrash quotes, and then we can kind of freely discuss it as well. I thought that might be kind of an interesting thing to do. Might get into that maybe tomorrow or the next day when I have a little bit of time to break down that video. But that is the Oculus Quest right there. Looks pretty freaking sweet. I want to get my hands on this thing ASAP. Those of you that are at Oculus Connect 5, man, you got to try this thing out. I'm assuming if you waited long enough in line, that would be pretty freaking cool. Jim Hall says, I enjoyed the Abrash segment the most of the entire keynote. And dudes, check this out. John Carmack tomorrow, guys. That is must-watch television. John Carmack. You put that guy up on stage and he will talk and he will talk and he will talk. And you probably won't know half of what the hell he's talking about, but he's just such an interesting guy. I love John Carmack. I don't know what time his keynote is tomorrow, and it's kind of worrying me because I don't know if it's going to be the same time as my show. Maybe I'll just have to watch it later or whatever, because I think we're going to just have a regular, normal 11 a.m. show tomorrow, I believe. Not sure about that. Yeah, Sin Raikai says John Carmack hype. Yeah, I love John Carmack. What about the human avatars? Yeah, Phil Yarn was talking about that. What about those new avatars where they can create a version of you? Now, that is with like deep learning and all that stuff. And that we're not there yet to allow that for everybody. They're able to do that in their labs, and that is coming. That is coming, but that is going to be freaking ridiculous. One of the things that they talked about, and this is why Facebook is really into this thing, is, okay, so his speech is from 10 to 11:30. Well, maybe I'll delay this show until noon tomorrow just so I can see the entire Carmack speech. But basically, one of the things I was going to talk about is Facebook. They're talking about if you can recreate a digital version of yourself that pretty much looks freaking identical to you, has your mouth movements, and is really that convincing, like that A/B they showed where they said, can you figure out which one is the fake one? And the fake one was on the right side. I could immediately tell which one was the fake one, but how impressive would it be if like your mom lives in Alaska or something and you could just freaking beam into her living room and you're seeing your mom there and she looks as clear as day and you look as clear as day to her. Think about what that's going to do for communication, you know, just like presence. You could have Christmas, if everybody had their VR headsets on, you could have a few guests that are not really at your Christmas party, but they're at your Christmas party. Now, this is kind of the world of the Jetsons and stuff, but that will be interesting. Yeah, so Alexander Lubinsky says same time. So I'll just go ahead and make the announcement right now, folks. We'll start at noon. So I can try to watch the John Carmack speech, because that would be really cool. I do want to see that live if possible, and just then we could comment on it as well tomorrow. Terry Blanchard says, with the Quest performance, online shows next year will have hosts invite viewers to their show. Bullet Ape says, remember, Carmack isn't allowed within 5 miles of Doom these days. And Oculus Home needs to have custom avatars, make your own in medium, then rig them, etc., etc. That is Fuzzy Dragon. A lot of interesting stuff are going to be coming down the pipe. Anthony, you should really watch it in your Go. You know what? I didn't bother today. I just went ahead. I was watching it on Facebook. The whole 180 thing, are they going to let us watch it after the fact on the Go? Maybe I'll check it out after the fact just to see. But I really like watching this type of material in 180. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think these VR headsets are there yet. I don't think the way we capture 180 video is there yet, live 180 video. I don't think the bandwidth is there yet. Go TV casting. This is something that was announced, and that is huge. That is huge because we're going to be able to stream to TVs and to cell phones and all kinds of stuff like that. That is really huge. Okay, let's see. What other little trailers can we get into real quick that did come out today? Well, you know, they have this new Oculus Rift commercial, and this is just like an Oculus Rift in general commercial. Let's go ahead and check this out just so that we can check all of them out.
The difference for you and me is I seize the moment and you with that foolery. Shine like the jewelry. Hit them like boom, what you gonna do to me? But you won't ever beat me, and I'll be out so fast that you won't ever beat me. Don't hate it, I'm the greatest. Think it's luck, well, you see me out in Vegas. It's no opposition. Myself is the only competition. So slam, bow, bam, boom. The king is here, make some damn boom. Oh, that ass like change the game.
All right, so yeah, this is basically kind of like their new commercial that they have, kind of showing off the Rift and like, yeah, the Rift is so awesome. No real new games in there, so it wasn't anything super exciting to see that, this particular commercial. Just a new commercial that they could have running during like NFL games, or like if they ever have commercials on TV, that's a good TV commercial they could use. Okay, so let's see here. Crunchy says, I was totally surprised by Quest being only $3.99. Yeah, that did shock the crap out of me. And Shiny Robot is talking about 72 hertz can do the job for the most part while saving a tremendous amount of performance. Paradise Decay says, I was really impressed how good it was in the Go today. Super sharp, super friendly, people coming over to chat, no lag. I felt like I could touch the stage. It was that clear. Oh, wow, that's super cool. I just figured I wouldn't even screw around with it, but now I'm disappointed I didn't get in there. Sin Rakai says, some people were predicting $5.99 or higher, and I'm sure those people were pleasantly surprised. I was one of those people. I said $5.99 because I wanted the Snapdragon 845. I wanted the high-end, basically the highest-end mobile processor that we can get without going like the NVIDIA route. Staying within the Snapdragon family, and the 845, but I don't know how the price is $399, but that is a tremendously awesome mass market price. You can sell these things to a lot of people at $399, where if it was $599, they wouldn't even consider it. Now, of course, we go down to the Go. The Go is $199, and someone was saying that when the Quest comes out, there's no need for the Go unless the Go goes down to $99. But maybe that is the strategy. I don't think it'll immediately go down to $99, but maybe within a year or so, that will kind of happen. Hussein X says they may surprise you with the 845. They really could. If again, I said that if Facebook is willing to subsidize the hell out of it, that would be awesome. Oh, and what about the demo with the Quest on a real keyboard? Yeah, that shit looked like Aha, Take On Me. That was hella cool when they were showing how it was like mapping out the room. There's a lot of cool stuff. Like, I need the full entire Oculus Connect, the OC5. I don't have the full video, and so today's breakdown is not going to break down everything. We almost need to get that. I need to get the full breakdown, rewatch it again. There's a lot of other things I'll remember to bring up, and I can cut out some snippets of it, and we can see some of that. There is a trailer for a brand new Oculus Go game called Covert. Now, this was on one of Oculus's YouTube channels. Let's check out this trailer. I think this is brand new.
In the club?
These two?
Let's take a look at this.
I'd say they earned it.
Then let me be the first to welcome you into the League of Thieves.
Now that I've seen you work together, this might just be the first job of many.
So that is Covert. That is going to be coming to the Oculus Go this fall from White Elf and Oculus Studios. It looks like, designed very specifically for the Oculus Go, trying to keep the graphics as simplistic as possible, but trying to give you that full VR experience at the same time. You kind of look like you're a spy sneaking through some type of installation, solving puzzles, turning off alarms, doing that kind of thing. Looks kind of cool. Looks pretty cool. Covert for the Oculus Go. So going back over to chat, Sinrakai says, once Oculus Quest is out, the Go will pretty much just be a 180, 360 video watching device. Well, there is something called Pron, P-R-O-N, and the Oculus Go will still work very well for that. So I'm sure the Oculus Go will find a nice home to take care of it once the Oculus Quest is out. But yeah, if I were to add an Oculus Quest, how much would I ever use my Go? The Quest would pretty much take over. The Quest is pretty nice. Fuzzy Dragon says Go at 99 bucks would blow the doors open on VR. And I think that had to be part of Facebook's long-term strategy to eventually get down to that $99 price point. So I don't think that's completely out of the realm of possibility. T-Dub says, when the price of Star VR, Pimax, and Vive Pro are doing the rounds, a $399 price sounds so much better. Yeah, $399 is dirt cheap, really, in the grand scheme of things, to have a high-end standalone headset that is doing everything that the Oculus Go is doing. I mean, we're going to have to wait and see what the games actually look like. But remember, there's no PC. There's no phone needed. There's no wires. It looks like there's local multiplayer VR gaming for the first time ever. How freaking cool is that? There could be experiences that are designed for two people to have a 5x7 rug. They might tell you, use a 5x7 rug. You and your buddy stand in these two spots, and the entire experience takes place right there, and you're working right there with your buddy, and maybe you're defending yourself against zombie hordes or whatever you're doing. But there could be legitimate local multiplayer gameplay that is going to be pretty huge that we don't have with the Vive. We don't have that with the Rift. We don't have that with PC VR. So many people in the chat on the Facebook video today were so incredibly negative about everything Oculus Quest, blah, blah, blah. They're like, CV2, Pimax. We're just going to buy the Pimax. But I don't know. It's a crazy world that we're in. And then, again, you go back to that comment, that Twitter comment from that guy on VentureBeat. Who knows what shoe is going to drop possibly a week from today? This guy might have let a little something leak. Maybe there is some huge major announcement. Maybe LG is getting back in the VR headset game all of a sudden. Maybe this is Knuckles, guys. Maybe Knuckles is done, and this will be the first announcement for a VR headset, including Knuckles, an unannounced VR headset, a Steam VR headset with Gaben's endorsement that is going to change the game. Who knows? Anything can happen. Shiny Robot, what I'm talking about right here is this tweet. Let me throw that on the screen again here. This is Jeremy Horowitz's tweet. He says, in 1 week, VR is going to have its Super Mario 64 moment that if you're even remotely interested in VR, the rules are about to be redefined and jaws are going to drop. Either we're going to call this Jeremy Horowitz guy a major prophet, Nostradamus Jr. Maybe he's getting the Nostradamus Jr. treatment. We're either going to say, dude, you were straight up Nostradamus, or we're going to be like, man, that was such a dud. You were just talking about Astrobot. Astrobot is a great game, but I don't know that it's the Super Mario 64 moment, or, who knows what he's talking about here. It could be anything. I mean, it could ultimately be anything. So who the heck knows? Okay, so let's see. What trailer should I throw on here? I'll go back to one of these Oculus Quest trailers. So I'm gonna run this full screen for a sec. I gotta close a door real quick. Hold on one sec. Be right back.
Whoa. There's a cherry down there. Nice grab. Nice. Cut up.
Yeah, there you go. Whoa.
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 Forward, down, forward, wide.
Whoa. Whoa.
Okay, I'm back, everybody. Sit together, all right?
Whoa! Whoa! There's a cherry down there. Nice grab. Nice.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to take care of something real quick. I was telling my son, texting my son that I'd pick him up a little bit later. So I can go ahead and run. I can keep going with this show up until about 3:20 or so, and then I got to bounce out of here at 3:20. But let's go ahead and see what people are talking about in chat. Okay, let's see. Jay Pace. Oh, so Bullet Ape is talking about Jeremy Horowitz. Could be talking about a Knuckles fan, Portal VR, Left 4 Dead, lots of different possibilities. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what people are doing in chat. Everybody's talking about they're talking about this Whoa stuff and where is Keanu? Yeah, where is Whoa. Okay. So anyway, folks, I'm back. This is the Oculus Quest. And that is what the dream is all about. Standalone VR. It is coming. It can't get here soon enough. I can tell you that, man. It is going to be a long wait until whatever Oculus's definition of spring is. It is going to be a long wait. We could be looking at a May. This could come out in May. It could easily come out next May. And that is a long time from today. So we're going to have to enjoy the games that we have right now. And those games include Vox Machinae. So has anybody in chat actually already played Vox Machinae today? I think Chris Gould or somebody already got in about a half an hour of this game. This game is available right now, folks. It is $25. I believe it should be on the Oculus Store now, too. Although last time I checked, it wasn't coming up. Vox Machinae. Yeah, this one came completely out of the blue. I mean, we knew this was coming. We knew that Vox Machinae was going to be an early... I'm still not seeing an Oculus page for it, but it might be on there and I'm just not seeing it. We knew that Vox Machinae was coming very early this fall, but we didn't know it was going to be a September release. It is just bonkers. It is absolutely bonkers this month. So many games this month. Windlands 2, Transference, Vox Machinae, Jet Island, Creed, Blind. The list goes on and on. It's just never ending. It's kind of unbelievable how many great games have hit this month. So that is Vox Machinae. Paradise Decay says he played this with the devs a few months back. It's a superb game. It looks like it would work really, really nicely in VR. Jay Pace says, right on. I'm buying Vox Machinae as soon as it's on the Oculus Store. It's weird that it isn't on the Oculus Store. I mean, it's not coming up on any of my searches. Let me see if I can go into the actual store itself. It's showing it's on Steam, though. But I'm not seeing it on the regular Oculus Store. Let's see. Oh no, it's right here on the front. $24, $25. So yeah, it's right. It's on the very front of the Oculus Store. So it is there. It's just not coming up in a Google search for whatever reason. So that is Vox Machinae. So yeah, it is on both platforms. $25. Looks pretty cool. Came out of freaking nowhere. Another great September game. Okay, so. Whoops. Sorry about that. Let's see here. So let's go ahead and take a look at like some of the last minute news stories that are going on at Upload VR. Let's go ahead and check out Upload VR real quick. And we do have some more news that is coming in. Oculus Connect 5 Echo Combat release date finally announced. Let's check this out, folks. Where is it? November 15th. During its Connect developer conference, Oculus today announced that the highly anticipated expansion to Echo VR would be arriving on November 15th, following multiple beta testing periods that begin this summer. So November 15th is the date for the final date for Echo Combat. So that is nice. We have some up-close photos of the Oculus Quest controllers. Here's some really, really up-close photos right there on Upload VR. You can see Santa Cruz dev kit right there on the side of it. And there's the grip button. It looks like it has an interesting texture on that part of the controller. But yeah, I mean, it's basically an Oculus Touch controller just with the ring moved in. Hey, you guys see this picture right here? That's what I kind of, I put my head on the head of Brendan Uribe. I thought that was pretty hilarious. I hope nobody really thought that that was my body and that was my head, and they thought, what's wrong with Anthony? Anthony looks weird. Oculus Connect 5, one of the things we did find out, no specific sales numbers, but apparently Nate Mitchell is saying that Go is beating our expectations on every front. It's great. And Rift continues to perform well, especially at the $399 price point, but no actual numbers. No actual numbers for either of these headsets, which means they're not selling ridiculous gangbusters, because if they were selling ridiculous gangbusters, we would get the numbers. Oculus Connect 5, Titanfall devs, Respawn Entertainment, it's a no-show. This was unfortunate. This is a no-show, but apparently they are working away at it. I don't know if this is a brand new trailer where they're talking about it, but apparently they continue to bang away on that, but that is definitely a 2019 release. Stormland, of course, is a 2019 release as well. So there's going to be games we're going to have to wait for in 2019. And then the Half Dome prototype, there really wasn't that much talk on the Half Dome prototype, other than that, like he did say, Michael Abrash was talking about that if it did have a 4K display, that they could put those in there without much of a trouble. So basically, we could have 2 4K panels inside the Half Dome, I think, maybe, based on what Abrash was talking about. But yeah, I need to watch the entire Abrash thing over again, because I was watching it on Facebook. It was all jacked up. I missed a ton of it. The stream kept having problems. I don't know if anybody else noticed that as well. And Nate Mitchell says 2019 represents our biggest investment to date. Defector hands-on, becoming Jason Bourne in VR is a blast. Vox Machinae out right now. I mean, look at this, guys. It's just an explosion. It's an explosion of news. It's an explosion of news. It is an orgasm of news for Upload VR, because there's some days where this website won't have a new story for 3 or 4 days, and they just are bombarded with nothing but tons of stuff to talk about today. So make sure if you get an opportunity later, go ahead and bounce over to Upload VR and check out some of that stuff and see what's going on as far as that goes. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to chat real quick and see what we're talking about here. Bullet Ape says he dropped down one of those tunnels and almost had heart failure. Shot me out of the top like a firework. I'm not sure which tunnels we're talking about here. Oh, Anthony, someone superimposed their face on your picture. Okay, and then Facebook got issues with Facebook. Yeah, it was so funny. In the stream, everybody was like, so Michael Abrash is talking about, we're going to have the technology to do this. We're going to have the technology to do that. And everybody in chat was like, dude, you guys don't even have the technology to like do a normal live stream without having a problem or having it like buffer a million times and have serious problems. So anyway, folks, that's pretty much going to wrap it up, I guess, for today's show. I need to get some water. There still is a ton of stuff to digest and soak up, and I got a lot of stuff to take a look at. I got a lot of videos to watch, and so tomorrow, we're going to do this show tomorrow at noon, because I do want to see the John Carmack keynote. I definitely want to see that. I think John Carmack, pretty fascinating. I probably will not understand half of what he's talking about, but he has a lot of great insights. He tells it straight up like it is. He doesn't really hold anything back. I love John Carmack, so I'm looking forward to that talk. So we will go ahead and start at noon Pacific time tomorrow. And hopefully I'll have a lot more information to break down. I'll have the video of the entire Oculus Connect 5, so I'll take out some small portions of that where I thought maybe there was some key information, some key things, and we can kind of discuss some of that stuff as far as that goes. So I think that will be kind of cool. So we will get into that tomorrow. So let me go ahead and grab my outro trailer and get the heck out of here. I got to get my son from school. He's going to be waiting on me. All right, folks, so there is a website, of course. VR Game Rankings, the website. Be sure to check that out. Definitely subscribe to the channel, like the video, all that good stuff. And I will see everybody tomorrow at noon Pacific time. So noon Pacific time tomorrow. See you guys then. Take it easy. Later.